Hello and welcome back. Today I'll tell you a life story. Um, I had gone to a recent conference, a women's conference, in which we got to hear fascinating stories of so many ladies who have made it very big, mothers who have made it very big in their individual fields. And I had the good fortune of meeting one Miss Shelja Mittal. Now, Ms. Shelja Mittal is the founder and president of Koala Cabs. Koala Cabs is a unique cab service that is provided by women for women and children. So it was a wonderful concept, and her story got me thinking. In her story, she says that, okay, there was this small problem that she had. The problem in which her child's cab driver did not come to pick her up. In fact, he sent another replacement to pick up her child. And when she saw the replacement driver, she was not very convinced. She was not very happy. She did not feel safe. Hence, she dropped her child herself. So that was the problem statement that she worked on, that made her develop a beautiful concept in which women from economically weaker classes would be trained to become cab drivers, and they would be given the responsibility of picking up little children from school and dropping them back home safely. So, like a kangaroo takes care of its children. I mean, the koala cabs, ladies take care of their little babies that they pick up and drop. So that was a beautiful concept. And that also got me thinking. It made me a little guilty. I kept thinking, okay, I had this big list of things, so many things that I always wanted to do. I wanted to become a singer. I wanted to start my own band. I wanted to get into maybe fusion music. I was interested in acting. There were so many other things that I wanted to do. But in the pace and the regular, maybe ebb and flow of life, so many of these things just got pushed into the background. So they started making me feel guilty, saying, okay, why have I been sitting on so many things? Why this procrastination? So, coming to today's topic of procrastination. Procrastination is any one task, any one particular responsibility or dream or goal that we have been sitting on for a very long time, that we have been pushing, postponing, as we call it in Indian English, for a very long time. Maybe because it makes us very uncomfortable, maybe because we have to break the regular mold of our regular flow of life and maybe do something that's out of the box. Fear of ridicule, what will people say, Sharma ji ki बीवी क्या कहेंगी, या मिश्रा जी की बहन क्या कहेगी, or लोग क्या कहेंगे, kind of a situation. It could be anything. So it could be fear of ridicule, it could be fear of the unknown, or all of this. So how do we actually overcome such procrastination? So Brian Tracy, a Canadian American author that I have been following avidly for a very long time. I'm a great admirer of his works. He came up with a very simple concept. Mark Twain had once said, if the first thing that you do on any given day is eat a live frog, that will give you a deep satisfaction that nothing worse can happen to your life. So he said, eat that frog. So Brian Tracy institutionalized that, made that a life's lesson, and said, okay, now eat that frog every day. Build that habit. So what is this frog? The frog is that one thing that we have been pushing away, that one thing that we've been sitting on for a very long time, that we haven't done, that big, important part, critical part of our to-do lists, of our lives, of our ambitious checklists, that we have just not done anything about, maybe for various reasons. So what does Brian Tracy actually want us to do? He says, man up, take a big gulp of water, be prepared for it, just grab the frog and gulp it down. And if you're able to actually do that one thing, which is eat that green slimy frog early in the day, it will give you such energy that your day will just go by extremely productively. I mean, you won't stop throughout the day because it would have given you so much positive energy. So eating that frog could be anything in your checklist that you have been pushing for a long time. So It could be maybe keeping up to that date night that you wanted to have with your partner and you haven't been able to for so many other reasons, domestic reasons. It could be going for a jog every day, a 5-minute jog that you've been actually pushing under the carpet or just lying about. It could be changing one thing in your life to accommodate maybe your child a little more in your schedule, something that you have always wanted to but just did not feel like doing. Or it could be just apologizing to that one person who was once upon a time a very close friend, but you fell out due to maybe a small ego clash or a skirmish. So it could be anything. If we're able to eat that frog, it'll change our lives. So just try that. So what are you expected to do? You're expected to come up with a checklist of all the things that you wanted to do, your to-do list. And then you're supposed to identify your frog. That one thing that's the most difficult for you to do, the most uncomfortable for you to do, and eat that first. In preparation for it, there are many things that you could do. The frog can then be actually maybe made into smaller pieces, which means that one big task of, okay, I will make up with my in-laws, can be broken down into 3 or 4 steps. The first step being, okay, let me give them a call every day. That can be the first step. The second step, all right, maybe 15 days from now, let me go and visit them once. The third could be, all right, now that I've spoken to my mother-in-law and she looks a little okay and she's a little more comfortable in the conversation that I'm having with her, maybe I could now initiate that conversation with my father-in-law, which is the third step. So it does not have to be that mountain, or it does not have to be that big, unchewable, unchewable bite of food that is stuck in our glottis. It could be chopped down into smaller pieces. You can make it into smaller tasks that you can start working on. So eating that frog will give me a lot of energy. For me, an example of eating the frog is actually starting this channel. I've wanted to start this channel for the last 10 years. So I finally took the plunge and ate the frog. So how many frogs are there in your life? And when will you start eating one? Do subscribe, like, and comment, share, and support my channel. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, productive day and eat that frog.